you need your spouse to be incapacitated to have a convo?
This is where, what is it called? This is how like Munchausen's by proxy happens. Like we just saw the beginning of Munchausen's by proxy. She's going to be on the streets of Seattle just licking doorknobs to go home and kiss him with. So they can be sick together.
100%. It was just amazing. It was amazing.
Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
I'm Keeley.
And we are shit sandwiching it again this week, but for the last time because the middle reunion bit is finally over for the Valley. So we're just kind of recapping. Yeah.
Thank fucking God.
Sweet release, baby.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of outside the scenes stuff that we also have to chat about going on.
Yeah.
Right? So if we jump right in, we've got the boat show, and the news broke this week that Nathan, our bosun, who's out at the moment with his bad back in Christmas time, a couple days after Christmas, got a charge for domestic abuse.
Yes.
The pieces that I've put together are that he choked Gail in their apartment, and that sucks. And I don't know, I've seen some people who were like, of course he did. I didn't see this coming. I guess like looking back, hindsight's 2020, there are signs that, you know, maybe he could be pushed that far. He's got a temper, but it bums me out, man. What have you seen about it?
It bums me out also, but we have talked, when he had that episode where he didn't text Captain Sandy and didn't show up for an hour and a half and was late and said, I had some family issues.
Yeah.
I had a weird prickly spine thinking, I wonder if something happened. I'm not saying he did anything that day. I'm not saying that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I got a weird energy vibe that, something bad is going on between the two of them. And so I wasn't surprised when it came out saying something bad happened between the two of them. I am curious what you think about now these allegations are coming out. I don't know when this was filmed. Was it last summer, I guess?
I think it was last spring? Like summer, fall time. Well, because they did like Pride on the charter. Granted, they do Pride.
Right. Different times
charters
of year.
all the time, but typically that's in June, right? So
my question is how do we feel about him still being on the show with these allegations that are out there?
Mm-hmm.
Domestic abuse either way is extraordinarily right, it's a serious thing. And we shouldn't be, I guess, having the take with these people that it's just a domestic charge, it's fine, he should be able to whatever, right? And make excuses. I'm not saying he needs to immediately be kicked off the show, but as viewers, what do you think about him still being on the show? And we have all this background noise now about him.
So I thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's the correct questions to ask ourselves, because this is reality TV, which we are looking for the reality of it, right? We want to see the whole story. It started off as like a documentary thing, and now it is not any longer. It is entertainment. And how much is scripted, how much is not? These are real people who have real lives outside of the structure of the show.
Right.
And are they still doing whatever that is themselves? Absolutely. But within the confines of the show, but outside there is the reality part of it. I think we know Bravo is slimy, right? We know this. We know that it has its faults. I'm not surprised. I think this all happened after the show. I think if they put him back on TV If they started filming with him again after this, then I would have a bigger problem with it. I don't think you fault everyone else on the show by just like taking the whole thing off the air. I agree. I also think that Taylor, what's her name? Taylor Frankie Paul?
Yes. Right. Yes.
As we got, I mean, they took the whole Bachelorette, they took the whole thing off the air. I was just going to say that. Ate all that money. Then we get more information and it's like, listen, she was in the wrong. He was also an abuser in this. Correct. A lot of it was reactive abuse. So like, we're never going to actually get the full story of any of it. I am certainly by no means saying that I blame Gail. I'm Team Gail, obviously. But I do think that as far as the show is concerned, I would say, yeah, they should still put the show on. There's still many stories that should be told about all the other people that are going on. I don't think you pull the whole thing and punish everyone else and all the work that was done because of something he did off season. And I think that I wish that this information had come out sooner so that maybe we could watch it all with clearer eyes. But that's selfish. I just don't want to look like an asshole when I'm like rooting for him, right? Like looking back, it's like, oh, I was so excited about his and Gail's love story. And now I find out that he's done this horrible thing. That's on Bravo, right? Because people knew that this happened. Bravo had to have known. Bravo hasn't talked about it. I think they were hoping it was going to get swept under the rug. Some of the comments that I've seen are saying that the country that it happened in, I think it's just not, because it was in Australia, right?
Yes.
And I think people were saying specifically, like people from the specific area that it was in, it's like they don't really follow through with getting justice in these cases. They don't take this seriously. And I'm also interested in your perspective because when you and I hear this, I have a big visceral reaction to domestic violence. I think online there's a lot of, reaction to domestic violence, but you work in the court system.
Yeah.
Like I would never say just a DV case. I would be like, oh, holy shit. But you're in it every day.
Yeah.
Granted, you're in Idaho, not where they are, but still, when that comes up for you, how is that seen differently? Or how is that like looked at differently? If somebody comes in and is like, well, what are his priors? Well, he has a DV or something like that.
Well, with that question, it's not positive, right? That is mitigating for the opposite side, saying this person is bad, right?
Yeah.
That person, this is why this person is bad. He has a domestic violence charge. It's not, this person is good because he works 3 jobs and, right, all of these other better mitigating circumstances. So when someone says, okay, his history, he has domestic violence in his history, my job will take that seriously and say, oh, you have a history of anger or violence or alcohol or substance abuse or something that is triggering whatever to have this abusive reaction, right? And abuse another person, put your hands on another person. That's why I asked the question, thought about Taylor Frankie Paul. I thought about even James Kennedy, right? From Vanderpump Rules, right? We all rode hard for James Kennedy and his relationship with Allie Luber. And then it came out that he was violent towards Allie, right? And, it's never okay. And he had, people come out for him saying he's a good person. This was a mistake. He's going to atone for his mistakes. This does not make him who he is. And I disagreed with that, meaning to come out and say, right, this was a mistake. He's going to atone for that. That doesn't make him who he is. I disagree. This is who he is. Abusers are abusers. Cheaters are cheaters.
Done it again. Right?
So
he's having a baby with someone and he just,
right.
I think he just attacked her too. So
right. So I'm upset because I'm not saying we need to cancel the show. I thought the whole Taylor Frankie Paul canceling the show was misogynistic and very sexist. And I've literally never seen that before, where the whole show is dumped because of a DV charge. We could go on for 3 hours in this podcast naming the celebrities that have movies and reality TV shows and videos and all the things, and they're still abusers and they're male and nobody cares. But I'm not saying to dump the entire show. I don't want the show to go away. I am wanting the show or Bravo to come out and say, right, we don't condone this behavior and he's no longer on the show, is what my preference would be. And yeah, that could cause a lot of reactions and problems from people. But I've been told by the face that's staring back at me and the face that I go to bed with that says I'm very black and white and I have a hard time seeing the gray pieces, and I have no problem. I have no problem admitting that. Yes, that's the kind of person I am. But when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to abuse, it's you have an issue, you have a problem, and I don't think they need to be rewarded by continuing to be on a show. And for us as viewers to pretend like we don't know this information now.
Agree.
I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. Gives me the ick. And now I'm going to look at Nathan and differently and get the ick when I look at him. And now you question, has he ever done it before? What's going on at the house, right? Mm-hmm. Like this whole Danny and Nia thing. We don't know what goes on in their home. We just see what we see on TV and how he treats her on camera, right? Mm-hmm. But now I have that question. What's going on?
Yeah, 100%. I think my other strong reaction to this is, and this is just conspiracy, but we've seen Nathan struggling, but I gave him a lot of grace this season, going he is a new dad. He is stressed out.
Yes.
He has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders.
Yes.
He's cracking under the pressure of that.
Yes.
We're seeing him cracking under the pressure of that.
Yes.
We're seeing him being snippy.
Yes.
And kind of cruel to Joe.
Yes.
Joe's an asshole. I'm really not that concerned about Joe's feelings.
Right. He can handle it. Yeah.
He can handle it. But I do feel like the news came out the same week that we see Nathan just being kind of a conniving little shit.
Yeah.
Right? So just jumping into this episode, the last thing that happened in the episode, we've got Max is in. I love Max. Max is a flawed guy, but man, is he fun to watch. And Max has been really buddy with Joe. Joe is doing a great job, a fucking great job as bosun, right? Joe's a great bosun.
Yeah, he's killing it.
And Joe's like, listen, I would like to make you lead deckhand if he doesn't come back. We're a team, and support me, when Nathan comes back anyway, because we'll see how it goes. And then Nathan's like, support me and I'll make you lead deckhand. What a shit position for Max. And it was a shitty, sly thing, and it's all so shitty, and it's a personal stab at Joe. It's the job. I have a lot of critique about this episode, about the job. This season has gone so well, and the work that they're doing has been so good. And this episode, I think, was the first one where we've seen them struggling.
Yes.
And I really feel you can't, I don't like Joe. I can't shit on how good he is at his job.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that Nathan is bringing the personal shit in to fuck up the job part that had been going so well. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
And it's, if you're Max, you've got to just, there's no winning for him. Or actually, he's winning either way, because no matter who ends up being bosun, he'll be deckhand. So maybe he's fine.
No, I agree. Do you want to talk about the bigger picture of why people were making mistakes and it wasn't going well for this charter? Do you want to talk about that picture?
Yeah, okay.
Or do you want to skip over it?
No, I mean, we get in trouble enough on this.
Secondhand trouble.
So, and everyone, this is more shit about the show, but it's what's happening outside of the show.
That's true.
And this goes over to actually all of the shows that we're talking about. You and I, this is a hobby that we do. We literally get together and talk for a couple hours every week about our shows.
Yes.
Right? And then we put it out there for everyone to see and see if we want to like expand on the conversation.
Yes.
Sometimes we have a fun, interesting conversation in the comments. A lot of the time, there's also people who just want to like rip you apart. And this year is the first time we've done this for a while. This is the first time that we've got really intense negative comments.
Yes.
Like really personal, shitty, you guys are idiots. I hope all the worst things for you. I mean, like there's been some really rough comments that we've gotten lately. And I've got to manage how I like take that all in. But at the same time, it's like, whoa, there are people who will watch a little clip or watch an hour episode of a TV and see a snippet of someone's life and feel very comfortable saying some insane fucking shit like go kill yourself. That's happening to these charter guests. And we can talk about, the answer is, were they demanding? Did they not understand like the work that they're asking for and how it's not conducive to this experience? That's all debatable, right? And I think I see both sides of it. So we can get in a fight about that in a second. But there's no level of like there's no reason that there should be racist comments, sexist comments, kill yourself comments to those charter guests. They made Joy and Kayley cry. Kayley and Joy cried because they messed up and they weren't as organized and they were spread really thin. They messed up. They were getting asked more than they were capable of, and they felt shitty because they weren't able to rise to what was being asked of them. Was it fair what was being asked of them? Again, that's a debate that we can have. But saying that it's because these charter guests were bad people, or that they didn't deserve to be on that charter, or that they had no right to ask for those things, they 100% did. And I think that I'm feeling triggered because I'm seeing these charter guests get ripped apart and having to respond to that. And then you see Joy, you see Kayley, you see Cooper going, they were good people. I would love to work for them again. It was hard. We were tired, but like Joy crying, Kayley crying, that's not the charter guest's fault, in my opinion. Yeah. Do I think that they were asking for things like, can we have a burger in the middle of the day when I've asked you to do this like intense dinner? Yeah, that I don't think they were thinking that. But also, this is 7-star service. They're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't think that asking for food in the middle of the day is insane. It doesn't seem insane to me. I think there was bad communication when someone's like, I want avocado on everything. And then you have her twin sister go like, I don't like avocado. Why is there avocado here? That sucks. That puts Joy in a situation that like she thought she had it right, but she didn't. It was bad communication. So I don't know. I don't think that do I think that these guests were demanding? Did I think that they were asking for a lot? Sure. I think they had every right to, I think is the other side. And I don't think that they were abusive like we have seen other charters be. I don't think that they hit the realm of like were they irritated about it? Well, they've spent over $100,000 to be on this boat. Yeah, I would be irritated too, I think.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't see, and one of the charter guests even commented, she's like, if we had seen Kayley crying, we would have gone, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like we didn't want that for her. It's Kayley's job to make sure they never see that. They should never see that.
Yeah.
This whole show is the behind the curtain of this yachting experience that should be perfect. And we're seeing like, how do they recover when it's not perfect? I have strong feelings, but I've also been bullied a lot in the comments. So I'm on the charter guest side. How are you feeling about it, Miss Black and White?
I agreed with a lot of what you just said. It's a 7-star service. They pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. They were not abusive. We have seen actual abusive charter guests, like that man. What's his name? Michael or something, that was drunk.
Joseph.
That was calling Nathan, a dickhead or something like that, came in on right in Captain Sandy's right there in the front part of the boat during the evening, right? That's abusive to the guests. I don't believe that these charter guests were abusive. I also understand that they've paid, just like you said, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this experience. But you also, as a human being, have to understand and read the room that you're in, right? They know there's one chef and they still asked for the things that they asked for, when they asked for them and how they asked for them, knowing she's one person, knowing full well that she has to create a 4-course meal for dinner and has however long to do that. And there's one teeny tiny kitchen for her to do all of that in. And you know what? I am fine with the word demanding. I don't think there's that too negative a connotation with the word demanding. And I think they were demanding. They wanted what they wanted. They wanted it how they wanted it, when they wanted it. And, you know, they have every right to ask for that. By the way, none of these things have to do with their gender, have to do with the color of their skin, have to do with their sexual preferences towards other people. None of that has anything to do with how everybody was, you know, how everybody did their jobs on this charter, you know, and the guests, how they performed and what anything they did on this charter has nothing to do with that. And for people in the comments to bring that in is wrong and is the issue that I find troubling. You don't need to speak about them being queer, gay, or binary. You don't need to speak about her being a female. You don't need to be speaking about her being a Black person at all. None of that needs to come into the discussion at all. You and I can have a discussion or a debate about these charter guests and, you know, the charter crew helping them or not helping them, choosing to do what they did or not do what they did, right? We had a discussion about Joseph and him drinking and being abusive to the guests, and it's not okay. And Joseph was a white male, right? Nobody spoke about his race. Nobody spoke about his gender. He was an abusive person, and he shouldn't have acted that way towards people. I have a problem with, I would never act like that knowing there's one person on the boat that is, you know, doing the best she can. She has a preference sheet that says vegan, but people want hamburgers and shrimp, right?
Yeah.
She's confused, right? The whole avocado watermelon situation. I had to rewind it and watch it again because I thought Kayley
just got mixed up.
Kayley did not get mixed up. They told her wrong, but I was wrong. They told her correctly and Kayley got it wrong because I watched it 3 times because I was confused because it kind of went really quickly.
Yeah.
And she did say, you know, I only want watermelon. I don't want avocado. So that was Kayley's fault. And Kayley did beat herself up about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I did feel bad, but Joy was definitely overworked and Joy didn't need to be overworked. And
no,
I feel like those guests, in my opinion, watching the show has nothing to do with their gender or race, asked for those things and demanded those things because they said that they could. Because I can, I'm going to. And because you can doesn't mean you should, in my mind. And there's the black and white right there for me. Because you can does not mean you should. Because you can, you should also be able to read the room. And you should also know that there's one chef. You should also know she is cooking from sunup to sundown for you. And then you should ask for whatever it is, your needs that you should ask for. So that's what I struggle with. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So
I think there were so many things working against the crew. We're shorthanded. We've got Kayley, who's inexperienced. I think Aisha would have handled it a little bit better. Kayley is saying yes, 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 and then going, oh my God, how do I say yes to this? Right? I think that they're short-staffed in the... God damn it. I'll edit this.
Okay.
Interior.
Okay, yeah.
Inside the interior.
Yeah.
And I think you have Kat, who's brand new to this, but she's got to get all that laundry, right? She's doing all of the taking care of the cabins.
Yeah.
And you have Jen, who is not helping.
Oh my God, she is
what she has to with a shit attitude. Aisha is doing Deck, and she's trying to come in and be helpful, but she's also trying to like give Kayley the room to learn here.
Yeah.
And I think that unfortunately, this was not the charter to give her the room to learn. Like,
right.
Aisha needed to step in more.
Yeah.
Because this was just too much.
That's
and
true.
I'm also going to throw out there is the broader context of, you know, society and who these people are and what the lens is going to be on them. And so does everybody hate to be PC? Does everyone hate to have to do any sort of not speaking their full truth and feelings about everything? Take 2 seconds to think before you speak. And I think that if you're on a luxury yacht, you know that Joy is busy doing this other stuff. If you're hungry, you should be able to be like, I kind of want something. And it's like, okay, I don't feel like there was a conversation service-wise. I don't think there was a conversation of like, well, here's some cookies. It's like, no, I need something a little bit more.
Right.
I think that if they had a full interior, Jen could have been like, I'm going to make some sandwiches really quick. Or I'm going to heat up something that's like chips and dip, like something savory and substantial. Like salsa and chips would have filled everybody up, get a margarita. There's other options there that I don't think. Sure. I think because interior was already stretched too thin, I think they didn't have the capacity to troubleshoot those things as well as I think they would have if Aisha had been chief stew. And I think Aisha also has more ability to navigate those situations. I don't think that Kayley is comfortable saying no. Or not necessarily no. She shouldn't say no. But able to navigate I can't give you 100% yes. Like, I can't get you a burger right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of thing. So that's how I feel about it. I just think I think it was hard. I think you're watching everybody. We're farther into the season. Everyone is tired. Vibes are weird.
Yeah.
And it was just a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And this perfect storm was not that bad. Like, we have seen things fall apart other seasons.
Yeah.
This is like, it's going to happen sometimes and it sucks. And I honestly feel like they're going to recover really well.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
No, I agree.
Ugh. But yeah, the online discourse after that sucks.
And it just doesn't need to happen. That's my whole point. None of this we don't need to have these discussions at all. We can have a debate about whether they were demanding or not. That is an appropriate discussion. You and I can have a discussion of whether the interior could have handled it. That's an appropriate discussion. But when you bring race, gender, sex, preferences, all of these things into it, does not need to happen. It doesn't need to happen at all.
Right. And I agree with that. I also think that what has happened here is that people are willing to say inflammatory things without even really saying it in a harsher viewpoint and put these guests to a higher standard than they would maybe guests who are white.
Sure.
I think that's the vibe that I'm getting. I think that they're holding these guests to a higher standard and being like, they should just be grateful that they're there. But we
don't need to. That's my point. No. You don't need to do that, right?
No, I agree.
There's no need for that. Nobody needs to hear it. We don't need to look at it. We don't need to read it or watch it. So yeah, that
same page, man.
Was a bummer.
So also stuff that's happening on the boat. I got to talk about Jen. I got to talk about Jen being a fucking asshole.
Jen's a fucking asshole, and also, one more time, on social media, writes this gigantic post about, this is why I'm acting poorly on the show, because grandma died or something happened like that. Jen, it's really hard for me to care. It's hard for me to care. I don't want to see, Jen, you posting a 1,000,000-page paragraph about, an excuse for your bad behavior. Bitch, just own it and be like, yeah, that sucks. I did that a year ago. That sucks. I was an ass. Whatever. I don't want your excuses.
Yeah. This is the same, and this is another theme of these shows that I'm having right now is the non-apology apology.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
I shouldn't have done that, but I was forced into it because I'm so tired because of my children. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. I can't even figure out why I would ever have done that. I don't even know. I can do no self-reflection. It's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
My grandma died, so I'm a dick. Like, no. I have no sense of girl code with my fucking bunkmate. Poor cat. We really got into it last time about Cooper.
We did.
And I think that poor Kat in this situation is trying to navigate it as well as she can because she really likes Cooper. She doesn't like the situation. It's weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But she's trying to figure out if this is going to work for her or not. I think this is young people having to figure things out and make mistakes and learn lessons.
As an old person, I hate every single second of it. Hate it. As an old person, I hate it. It's a huge red flag to me. Watching Cooper go needs to be a secret. And, you know, she's just kind of giggling, going, oh, he's giving me, right? He's paying attention to me and giggle. And I'm going to do what he wants because he's paying attention to me. Giggle. Ugh, I hate it.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It's not fun.
No.
We have the experience to know this is
not good.
I went through that. I did that.
Yep.
And it's not going to end up well, but they don't know yet. You know, they don't know. And another theme from this week that I'm having is like, listen, everyone is on their own path of their healing journey, and they may not be where I want them to be yet. And they may never get there either, but it's not my job to dictate to them where they should be on that journey. But I do think that it's okay to have a response to their choices and actions.
God,
because no
am
matter
I in therapy
where you are,
right now? What the fuck is going on?
I'm trying to mitigate the bullshit that I'm going to get in the comments.
Stop it.
Except for on YouTube. That's where this is going to end up. And the YouTube comment made my day. So thanks, YouTube. But yeah, I genuinely think that like they're just in this learning thing. And what a weird, shitty position for Kat to be in, to have to start listening to Jen talking about how she's going to start going for Cooper now that it's over. And in her mind, she's like, no, I'm with Cooper, but she can't say it because she and Cooper have decided that it's a secret now. So now she has to watch Jen do it. And no, it doesn't matter whether or not her and Cooper are over. Jen should be hands off.
Agree.
Jen should be focusing on her job.
Jen knows Kat likes Cooper. They're bunkmates. Yeah. She knows that. Girls, we don't do that to each other. We don't just do that, but you're an asshole, Jen, so you're going to do that. You're an asshole. I'm sorry your grandma died. You know what? I'm sorry. A lot of people in my life have died or left, and I'm not an asshole on TV. I might play one, but I'm not on TV.
No, the behavior, Jen's bad behavior, and then her like shock that people don't enjoy her choices is, she's making good TV though, Jen. Good job for making good TV.
True.
And Ellie, again, not on the show, Ellie,
I know,
like, she's Ellie's living for this.
Messy, super
Ellie
messy.
Is so messy. And honestly, Jen sucks, but Jen is a little baby. And Ellie never learned her lesson.
Right.
So
get it, girl.
And I think Jen is redeemable. I think she's going to have to take her licks, but then I think she's going to learn. Ellie is never going to learn.
Yeah.
Ellie is never going to complete that journey. I think Jen is going to be able to do it. But right now, Jen is pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah.
And I just, poor cat. Poor sweet cat.
I know.
Joe kicking ass as a bosun. I loved that Cooper was like, I can fix this boat. And he fixed the boat.
Oh my God, right? That was amazing.
They sat on the boat correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been so bad. And it wasn't. There's so many things that could be so bad. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, are doing such a good job.
Yeah.
And I love Max as being back. I'm nervous about Nathan coming back next week.
I'm nervous.
And even worse.
I'm nervous. But I'm just pissed off with this whole thing and that I have to watch him on TV. So I'll just get over it because it can't be too much longer. So we'll see.
I know, but you get to watch Aisha.
I know.
If you watch Nathan.
I know.
Take the sour with the sweet. And he'll probably never be on another season again. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Rough. I don't know. We'll see as more information comes out.
I know. There was, what did I see? Another Housewives or Southern Charm or something. There was a cross on Below Deck. Did you see that? There was another show. There was another crisscross.
They did a Summer House.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really watch Summer House. Okay. So I don't have a lot of big feelings about it. But they said who was the most high maintenance. They were doing a joke.
Yeah.
And Kyle was like, I don't know. And she's like, none of you are high maintenance.
Yeah.
And then as they're making the video, gets interrupted with the blonde with the short hair. Yeah. So, I can't remember her name, but she's fierce and she has every right to be. So no one's calling her demanding. Actually, they were. So, but all right, let's talk about the reunion of the Valley, part 3. It is done. It's the last one.
Thank God.
Sweet relief.
Over.
I don't know that I have huge new revelations from this episode beyond I was so upset by Kristen's refusal to really take accountability for anything. And she just continued to not take accountability.
Yep.
And the part where she was like, I don't know why I said it. I don't mean it. I wasn't even drinking, so I can't explain to you. She did no self-reflection.
Absolutely.
And Jasmine takes her by the hand and leads her through.
Yes.
Exactly what's going on. You are riding so hard for these people that you are willing to throw the 3 of us who will never leave you.
Yep.
Who are ride or die for you.
Yep.
You are willing to throw us under the bus for them, and all we're asking is that for you to do that with us. That's what we're asking for here. They weren't even in the room when she did that to them, and it's so frustrating that Jasmine can see it, and in this moment she was so perfectly with her words explaining things. She didn't and she got to explain herself. She didn't get to explain herself with the parents need to stop complaining about being tired. That's not what she said, but she never got to fully explain herself. Raked over the coals, you and me, about agreeing with her on that. But she also didn't get to explain herself with Kristen because Kristen couldn't hear it, even though she laid it out on a platter for her. And you've brought up how Jasmine has been spoken over.
Yes.
Andy had this segment with Jasmine where he was talking about how she had sat Kristen down and had that conversation. And Kristen's crying and she's like, thank you so much for having that conversation with me. And Andy's like, you had that conversation perfectly. It was amazing. And then Kristen's like, yeah, and you were so worried about hurting my feelings and you kept just prefacing with, you're one of my best friends. And I was like, just fucking say it. And all I could think, I was furious again at Kristen because you're critiquing how she's communicating with you, but she's communicating how difficult it is to communicate with you because you don't hear her.
Yep, exactly.
And in that moment, as Jasmine's like, this is what I needed to convey. This is why in my life, this is a big deal to me. Kristen's talking over her again. And she's like, thank you for sharing. Kristen didn't hear shit.
No.
Kristen didn't absorb any.
Nope. Absolutely not. She didn't say sorry. I kept writing it down. Say sorry. I wrote it 10 times. Every single time Kristen had the opportunity to say sorry to someone and she didn't. She always blamed the other person or feigned some memory loss or totally doubled down and said, well, Nia, I told you to your face. I told you that's what I said about you. Nia, I said to you that I said you guilt tripped and then Brittany came in. So she doubles down. Kristen never says sorry. She had the opportunity the entire time to say sorry and she never did. Never.
No.
Super disappointing. I'm over it. I'm done. Yeah, she didn't take accountability for anything. It was, what am I watching? She wants everybody else to do that, but she doesn't have to? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? What is happening?
So, I'm in therapy. I was in therapy this morning, and there's part of like, as the company that runs it, they're like, okay, kind of like, where are you at with things? How are you feeling with things? I do like a little questionnaire every month or so. And I can tell you genuine, like, tangible goals that I have met, that I am getting to. I can see a difference. I can see the tools. I get that not everybody uses therapy in the same way. And depending on where you are, what you're going through, what's happening in your life, there's different reasons. Sometimes you just need a place to talk it all out, right? You just need to get it out in a place that you can, instead of screaming it at your husband. There are times that I've done that therapy. But also, Kristen has been in therapy for decades at this point.
Yeah.
Where are her tools? I understand that she was horrifically just knocked down mentally and physically postpartum. In the postpartum rage, I had postpartum rage. I don't think to the level that she did, but I also think that I had already had more self-regulation than Kristen had at that. I don't feel like she's working on her self-regulation. I feel like you can watch her not regulate herself during the reunion. I want to ride for Kristen so hard. We have watched her for 20 fucking years almost.
Yeah.
Right? 15, 20. And we've seen the shit that she's gone through. We've seen the shit that she's pulled. I don't feel like she's really learning her lessons. And I feel like she's so ready to attack everyone else and put everyone else in their place and make sure that everyone else is held accountable.
Yeah.
But she doesn't take any of it herself.
No.
I want things to get better for her. I don't like how Luke treats her. I don't like how she's treated Luke. I don't think that they function well together. I don't know that she functions well by herself, though.
Yeah.
And they brought a kid into this.
Yeah.
That sucks. I want to be on her team. Same with Brittany. Brittany brought me back in this year. I want to be on their team. We've seen what they've gone through. It's horrific. They deserve good things. But they have to participate in a real way to get there. It's not everyone else's job to wish good things into their life.
Right.
They can't continue to do the things that... She can't continue on this path and think that that's enough to, like, get everything she wants. Being in therapy, same with Danny and Nia, being in therapy doesn't fix you.
Yeah.
And that's not well, I'm in therapy, so you can't. No, you're still fucking up. Your actions right now are still bad.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my feeling on that.
I think that Kristen has a terrible therapist and
Yes.
needs to get rid of this person. We talked about it last week when the therapist looked at the two of them and said that you're too volatile as a couple to come to couples therapy, go home, fix that, and then come back. That's a terrible therapist
it was
response.
Like, the therapist was saying you need to work on your own stuff first.
No.
But he doesn't want to work on his own stuff. And what progress has Kristen actually made?
No.
What have we seen?
Right. No. None of that. Absolutely terrible. So, yeah, she has a terrible therapist. She needs to get a new person. She's not learning anything. It's astonishing to me, because before episode, season 1 and 2, maybe-ish, right? We were loving how wonderful she was to all of her friends. She was really loving and really caring. And we even faulted her for doing that with Jax, right? Why are you being so caring to Jax? Why are you being his friend, right? Why are you standing up for Jax, And she was doing all the things. We're like, we love this Kristen Doty. This is wonderful. What's happening? And now it's just all fucked up again. Therapy's not working. She has a terrible therapist. She needs to get away from Luke, right? He is definitely not helping the situation. He's not helping her mental health. He's not helping her postpartum. He's not being the solution. He's still being the problem. So I don't know. I'll say it one more time. I don't want to see Luke back next year if they have a season 4. I don't want to watch him again. I can't. I can't watch a person on a reality TV show that said to the mother of his child, I want to put that person in a coffin. I just want to bury her and never see her again. I mean, that is really terrible hate speech. We don't talk like that to people that we care about. And then turn around and look at her and go, let's just have another baby. What? No, Luke, we're not talking about that again. And then
get it over with.
Yeah. Right. And to one more, slide on Luke, when Lala was trying to talk to Danny and Nia, and you saw, I don't know if you put the captions on there, but I put captions on so I could take notes. But Luke said out loud, fuck you, Lala. Like, fuck you. What? What are you doing?
I missed that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyway, just this is the type of person we're dealing with, He wants to go live, off range in Colorado in the middle of nowhere, right off the grid.
Yeah.
But, during a break, he wants to know if he has enough powder and makeup on his face, right?
And he wants to go out drinking with his buddies.
Wants to be on TV. He wants to go drinking with his buddies, but he also wants to live off the grid in Colorado. You don't make no sense, sir. So, viewers, I'm done with him. I don't want to see him again. He's not helping Kristen, try and be the person that we have seen that she can be. So
the other thing about him is he feels totally entitled to say what he's saying because it's true. He's being honest. Like, I think Kristen even says, like, I appreciate that he's being honest. Why are we saying, and this is going to be a huge theme in our maths.
Yep.
Consideration.
Yes.
Why do you have to say everything that flows through your head? Do you know where a great place to say maybe this is the therapy that some people need. Sometimes I work through things by talking them out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking them out to a therapist because some of the things that I'm saying are just a stream of consciousness, totally valid to do that. But if that stream of consciousness has aspects or maybe is framed in such a way or maybe isn't padded enough that it's going to hurt the person that you're saying it to, maybe they're not the person that you need to process that out with. Because if I'm saying, I don't know if, I don't like who you are when you're pregnant, and if I had known this, maybe I wouldn't have wanted to be with you. Holy fucking shit. I just had a baby, wrecked my day-to-day life. My whole life is upside down, right? My body is upside down. My mental stability that I thought I had a handle on is out the window. I can't regulate myself to a point that's even scarier than I've ever existed before. And I told my boss to suck a dick while in a rage.
And my partner, who's supposed to love me, told me that.
Said, I don't, yeah. Why does she need to hear that?
Right.
Why is that what needs to be said? The other thing, between the both of them, they say horrible things to each other.
Yeah.
She said awful things to him. She's not blameless in this. She's not an angel who's a victim. She's participated in this.
Yes.
They also both lost my thought.
Well, what I was going to say was this for her to go, I want him to be honest with me. I appreciate him being honest with me. Those thoughts, those are inside thoughts. When he says, I want her to go into a coffin, I never want to see her again. And if I had known, I probably wouldn't have asked that person to marry me. Those are inside thoughts. Those are thoughts that you say to the cosmos with no human being with a heart in their chest alive needs to hear, other than a therapist or a doctor, maybe. And for Kristen to want that or pretend that she wants that, I don't know. I don't know if this is pretending because she's trying to keep their relationship together. So she's saying, I want you to be honest. Yeah. And why is it now Kristen's job, responsibility, her everything to now take in that garbage that he just word vomited onto her. And now that's her problem to deal with. And now he has word vomited, said these horrible things to her. And she is vulnerable in this really highly vulnerable state. And now she has to deal with that because it's quote unquote honesty. I don't agree with that at all.
No.
At all.
Mm-mm.
As a person, as a partner, as people, coworkers, friends, family, you don't need to be that honest. That is inside thoughts. Write it down, burn it, throw it away. Never tell the person that. You don't get bonus points for being honest.
And here's what it is like, there are times, and here's my truth that I'm saying no one needs. There are times in the very beginning where I was like, what the fuck were we thinking having kids? You know, when they're little.
Agreed.
And your whole life is blown up and you're exhausted.
You haven't slept.
You're in survival mode. And I was like, what were we thinking? Why would we do this? Oh my God. And that is normal. One, my children will never listen to this podcast. They do not care. Even if you
told them, they wouldn't care. Knowing your children, they're not going to care.
But I would never say that to them. I am so grateful and happy that I have them. But in those moments, I was just so overwhelmed. And that is a thought and a feeling that you have. But that's not your reality.
Right.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right.
It doesn't matter that you wish you had done something different. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. You have to figure out how to move forward. And for Kristen and Luke, you know, for me, it was try and get sleep where I can, accept help when I can.
Yeah.
Accept what is my best that is survivable. And it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we just have to be good and like creating new expectations for how things would work. And that's how we moved forward, right? For Luke and Kristen, is that they readjust and they figure it out. They both need to start assuming positive intent with the other. That was my point. Positive intent.
Yay.
The Gottmans, this is therapy. The number one way to make sure that you're going to appreciate and be able to communicate with your spouse is to assume positive intent, right? And to like, it's a lot easier to give grace when you're assuming positive intent. It's a lot easier to fucking hate your spouse when you think he's saying that because he's being a dick. She's saying that because she's trying to hurt me. She thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
It's a lot easier to go, oh, wow, that stung. You're feeling really tired. Don't talk to me like that. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. You know, it's easier that way.
You need to be, the other side of that is you need to be curious for that person, right?
Yeah.
He said that, she said that. The curiosity comes in and asking why. Tell me what's happening. You ask more open-ended questions and you're curious about that person instead of what you just said. Oh, he's a dick. That's why he said that. So, or she's just, you know, she's a bitch and she's always been a bitch. That's why she says that. She complains and nags all the time. Instead of being curious about your partner and go, when was the last time you had any sleep? When was the last time you had anything to eat? Or do I need to do something more for you, right? You're saying I did or didn't do something. You be curious and you ask questions about what they're saying to you. Mm-hmm. And Married at First Sight and The Valley, they don't do that with each other. Kristen absolutely was not curious with Jasmine when Jasmine was attempting to try and talk to her. Not curious at all. You know, when Danny and Nia are screaming at Lala, they're not curious about what Lala is trying to say. And Kristen going, I'm stepping in at this point. I need to say something. Why, Kristen? If the other side would be curious and say, you said this, can I have a follow-up and say why or how or whatever? But they don't do that. They just assume the worst, like you said, about the other side. And it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're talking about therapy, I made quite a few notations about this. I don't know if it was this coded language that they kept using about Danny and about this, you know, his essay, you know, with Jasmine saying words like there's a heightened quote unquote situation. We're talking about the situation that happened 2 years ago. We don't need to secretly decode what, Nia, we know what the quote unquote situation was 2 years ago. Your husband sexually assaulted Jasmine. This weird word speech that Kristen was using, Nia was using, Danny was using, was really disturbing to me instead of actually saying out loud what was going on.
Right.
Right. And
yeah,
again, no one, we can swing back to Jasmine again. No one is talking about Jasmine. Everybody wants to talk about Janet. Mm-hmm. We all have to blame everything about Janet. Has nothing to do with Janet. Janet wasn't sexually assaulted by Danny. Jasmine was. But nobody says these words, and they just kept saying weird words like the situation, and I'm trying to find them.
The incident,
right.
Yeah.
And what are we doing?
They want to dance around it. They don't want to acknowledge. He hasn't really acknowledged. He apologized. She and Melissa had that great talk with him. And then now they have Luke going, no one even saw what happened. They are completely rewriting history.
Right.
Gross. Back when it happened, 2 years ago when you and I watched that, I said, Danny fucked up, but look at, he's going to therapy. He had to get in front of his church and talk it out and take responsibility. He's working on himself. He's educating himself. And he's doing all of that. Like, good for him. Look at, he's, people fuck up, but they're redeemable. Right? But he's circling back to the same behaviors.
Yes.
I want to be the kind of person that gives people the benefit of the doubt. I want to be the kind of person that sees people in a whole picture and says, you are not your worst moment. You can learn from this and become better. Because I want that for myself. And I know that I am working to try and be better. Not every day, but at least on a semi-weekly basis.
Yeah.
I'm putting in that effort, right? And I really thought that Danny was, and I thought he was going to, and he's not. If anything, he's digging in his heels and getting worse. And that sucks.
This is not the first time that we've said, right, before Danny stands, and we said, just like you said, we have said all of this before. When you and I realize something and say, oh, yeah, we thought it was okay, it's not okay anymore, you and I are the first person to say to this camera, yeah, we shouldn't, that's not what we should have thought. This is not okay. This is continuing this behavior. We were wrong. We shouldn't have done that. And we have said that before. This is not the first time we have said, we thought Danny was doing the right things. He said he was sorry. And, 2 years later, he's still in the same boat or even worse. So Danny's not even doing that. Nia is not even doing that.
No.
And Kristen and Luke are writing even harder for Danny and Nia doing that. Even Jesse used a weird coded word when they were talking about Jasmine's wedding, and all of that was super confusing for me. What the situation was, where Zack told Brittany, told Lala, told Nia, told Kristen not to call Danny, and all of that was super confusing. But my point was, Jesse used a weird word where he's like, I know when Danny gets to a certain place or I see something that's going to happen, he and I have had this discussion that I'm going to pull him out of it and vice versa. That's just weird to say. If you have a friend that is doing these things, and when it comes along the same parallel line as sexual assault, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge problem for me, especially as a female, right? Everybody likes to bring in the fact that this whole group drinks alcohol, this whole group gets drunk, and compare it to what Danny does. It's not the same thing, people. Not the same thing at all. And that's what Jesse, sometimes Zack, and Kristen and Luke are doing with Danny and Nia.
There is a weird thing, and Kristen brought up, I couldn't even say it was because I was fucked up. There is a weird thing where they will use alcohol as like an excuse.
Yeah.
Zack does it. Zack says insane,
yeah.
crazy things, right? And he did it season 1. That's why I didn't get to go to, what was it, Big Bear?
Yeah.
Because he said that he hoped Janet had a miscarriage, or he didn't care if she had a miscarriage. That's insanely shitty. That's really bad. Yeah, there's...
Really bad.
I still am not over that. Then, we have Kristen, who gets upset that... I'm going back to the first season. I hate that I'm doing this, but first season when she gets upset at the table at Michelle, and then she starts talking about who's having an affair, and she's screaming at everybody.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because she was like kind of fucked up, or she had a big feeling. But anyone else who doesn't use the correct words, the perfect correct words, the text messages about Danny at the wedding, and they don't encourage him to go to the after party versus don't tell him about the after party, and like all of that. Nia, if she genuinely doesn't get it at this point, it's willful ignorance. She knows what's going on with her husband, and the continuing to lie about his drinking is wild to me, because there's just proof that he's left and right multiple times this season said that he wasn't drinking when he was drinking. We can see him sneaking drinks. We watched it happen. That was the incident with Janet. He was sneaking a drink. This is not a new thing.
Yeah.
And the other option, like the other thing of this is like, do you know what you could do instead of sneaking drinks and lying about not drinking? If everyone's getting on you about drinking, if that's what they're saying, that's what Danny and Nia are saying the issue is. Everyone else is like, it's not about the drinking. Go ahead and drink. You shouldn't, but they're like, we don't care if you drink. But then he's sneaking it. He's lying about it. Maybe just don't drink. If the issue, and even Danny says the issue is my drinking, they need to back off about this. They've blown it out of proportion. Stop drinking then. Why can't he just not drink? Is the party going to be less fun when everyone else is drinking?
And he's not going to get to say "let's go" 800 times and scream it? No, none of that.
Still do that.
None of that's real.
There are straight edge Mormon kids that yell that more than anyone I know. You can do it, except for Zack hates it. He can't not drink. We have seen him be incapable of not drinking.
He's a full-blown alcoholic. 100%. He's a full-blown alcoholic. And for Nia, watching Nia was so distressing to me. Why is Nia Danny's mother? Why does she constantly we watched it all season, whispering in his ear. She stood in front of him. She was a lineman in a prairie dress when they were in Mexico in front of Lala. She's still doing it on the couch at the reunion, whispering him, don't respond, just don't say anything. Or she'll say, I'm going to respond to this. You just don't say anything. Why is Nia mothering him? Why? I don't understand what I'm watching. No grown-ass man needs their wife to call their friends and say, don't call my husband and tell him to go to the after party. Don't call my husband and say, we're going to the after party. Do you want to go? Why is the woman having to do that for her husband? Yeah, it baffles me, because that's not a normal relationship. That's not a normal marriage.
No.
I've never, ever had to make an excuse for my husband, had to stop my husband, had to whisper in his ear at a function and say, just don't respond, or tell my husband we need to leave, or stand in front of him and protect him.
Or ask his friends to help you make sure that he doesn't go do something else. Like, I don't want him to go to the after party.
Right.
Tell your husband, don't go. I don't want you to go to the after party. And then if he goes to the after party, even though he knows you want him to stay with you, then that's between him and you.
That doesn't make any sense either. She said, we're spending a night alone in the hotel. We're going to spend some family time together. He is drunk off his ass downstairs in the lobby bar watching FIFA with no shoes on and a tank top.
Jesse throwing in those details
that
was
is
diabolical.
Not spending family time in the hotel. That's not being with your wife.
And Danny thinks it's fine. He was like, I was just watching FIFA. It's fine. And Jesse's like, I was just trying to get him to go back. Jesse saying he was in a tank top and no shoes on. Does that say that with a drink? Does that mean that he was drunk at the wedding? I don't know. Then we also have Zack throwing out there, well, the other thing that we can't talk about. This is bullshit. Right. This is fucking bullshit.
Yep.
This show. That line right there, the other thing that we can't talk about from Zack makes me go, I don't know if I'm gonna watch next season if there is one.
But we don't want to.
I don't want to. I'm a little bummed out that there is the behind the scenes calculating is so heavy and so hard. If you're gonna break the fourth wall like that, you got to give us the information. You don't go, well, we've got more stuff that we're hiding, but we can't tell you.
Right.
No. Nope. So I don't know. I appreciate Janet telling her story. Janet did not have to tell anybody any of that shit.
No, she didn't.
Frustrated at Kristen's reaction to that, about how hard that was for Kristen. Bullshit.
Or the fact that she claims she didn't know what the quote-unquote trauma was. I don't believe that for
Doesn't
5
matter.
fucking seconds.
Yeah.
I don't believe that at all, because you're not filming 24/7, so we don't know what goes on before you sat down and filmed that scene or situation or whatever you want to call that. But no, Kristen, I don't believe in that moment you didn't know what Janet's trauma was. I totally believe Kristen knew, and now she's backtracking and saying, well, I didn't know what the trauma was. Just say sorry, Kristen. Just fucking say sorry. That's it.
So easy.
It's so
and
easy.
It's the same thing with, oh my God, Lacey walking Danny through, this is how you could apologize. And they can't. They cannot take any real accountability for it. They go, well, I'm in therapy, so I'm working on it. I am. It's like, well, that's so weird because you're doing the same fucking thing all over again.
Well, they didn't have a reaction to Lacey when Lacey basically said the same thing that Jasmine said about the kids. Lacey reiterated it and basically said in a different way, right? You're using this as a shield. You're not taking accountability. You're blaming other things. Just say, right, whatever it is.
I shouldn't have done it.
I shouldn't have done it. And they did not react to Lacey the same way. Everybody literally came up off the couch and levitated,
pointing
at Jasmine. Not okay. Absolutely not okay. We as viewers know what we're watching. You cannot gaslight me into not believing. I know what I just saw. I know what I heard. I know what you said. And they still try and gaslight us and are like, no, we never did that. No, we never said that. No, actually, that's exactly what just happened. Exactly what happened. Do you want to keep talking about the valley? Is there anything else?
I can't remember. Happened? I mean, a lot of people have strong feelings about Lala having strong feelings about things. I don't think that Lala is the bastion of what is good and moral and correct in the world, but I do think that she is calling it like she sees it, and I don't think that she's wrong. And I think the fact that she is sober and in the program really puts Danny on the back foot. He can't really fight her and be like, well, you're drinking too. Because the only thing that she's doing is calling out the bad behavior, which is necessary on the show because for some reason everyone's afraid of Danny and Nia.
Yeah.
So I am glad that Lala is on the show. I wish she would show more of her life.
Sure.
I wish we saw more of what was going on there and why her brother has such a horrible hairdo.
Sure.
That is a choice that he made, and I don't like it.
No, I agree.
I'd like to see her with her daughters. I know she probably can't have Ocean on, but like we could see more of like what she's doing and like. But I don't know. I'm glad Lala's there to at least try and get some accountability for people, and I think that comes from her being in the program. I think somebody had made that comment. Like, personal accountability is a huge part of AA.
Yeah.
So she's the right person for the job.
No, I agree. And the fact that she can have these conversations with Danny and Nia about Danny's bad behavior or Nia being fucking weird, covering up for Danny, and be completely calm and curious at the same time. What I mean by that is they were screaming at her across the studio, and she's like, guys, I'm just trying to understand. I'm asking you a question. Guys, I'm asking a question. I'm trying to understand why or whatever it was. And she was completely calm and normal. And those fucktards weren't. And I appreciate that about Lala, that she can stay composed and stay regulated and still go, I'm curious and I'm trying to find out why. She probably knows the answer, which is not a good answer, but she wants them to say it, right? To you and I, obviously, as viewers, and to the rest of their quote unquote friend group, right? The reason that she probably already knows what the answer is.
Yeah.
But I love that about her. And I want to see more of that because, like you said, nobody else on the show is able to question what Danny and Nia do or say. And for Danny to fucking bring up Jax as the problem was ridiculously reaching. You have got to be kidding. He hasn't been on the show. He's not calling anybody. He's not saying anything to anybody. And he's trying to stir this pot up from the first season again where, you know, Jax and Brittany are conspiring to get him and Nia off the show. That has nothing to do with anything, right? Nobody wants to see Jax Taylor on this show again. And Danny, I got a secret. Nobody wants to see your dumbass on this show again. So
no one's defending Jax Taylor. No. It was so weird. But it's
weird.
Like, it was a weird thing to try and pretend like Jax is the reason that Danny's getting people pissed off because he's lying about his drinking. Like, no, we're talking about your behavior right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you think that Lala, because one of the other things talking about the comments.
Yeah.
Because actually there are a ton of women in our Facebook comments who think that Danny is like a good family man.
Yes.
Who these horrible women are going after, and it's unfair. So.
And the horrible women are you and me. And these people are ride or die for Danny and Nia. And when we say we don't ride or die, we don't want to watch them.
Well, he's just trying to be a great dad. Well, then what did you think about when Lala, you know, they had said, like, you said horrible things and now I'm getting death threats, or that I should leave my family would be better off without me.
Yeah.
That's a rough thing to say. However, what did you think about Lala's response to that?
I loved every second of her response because that would have been my response as well. I would have looked him dead ass in the face and said, yes. Yes, I said that. And yes, I feel like that. Yes, I want someone for Nia to love Nia for Nia. I want someone to baby Nia. I want someone to love these children and to get the fuck away from you. Because I 100% am behind what she said. And I absolutely would have said that and had no problem, would not have skipped a beat saying that. They want Lala to apologize. They want Janet to apologize. The apologies
that they want is just insane.
But they cannot apologize.
No.
Is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. That they're demanding Janet. Danny is still 10 toes down in the sand, demanding that Janet owes him an apology, but he cannot do that. He can't say anything that's even aligned with taking accountability. And his stupid wife has to stand in front of him, physically, literally stand in front of him and say, psh, don't say anything, I'll respond. Are you kidding? Are you his PR team? Shut up. Just shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I think it was it Janet that was like, going back to the after party at the wedding, it was like, well, what are you so worried about going to the after party for?
Right. That's a valid question. What are you worried about?
Yeah. I'm a little, if the Valley doesn't come back, I'm okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you and I will have a private discussion off camera, whether, if it does come back, whether we're going to talk about it.
Whether or not we're actually going to do that.
Yep.
Because I'm having 65-year-old women call me Karen when they voted for Donald Trump. And I can't explain to them why they're using that wrong. So.
Right.
There's just not enough room in the comments. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of MAGA women, let's transition over to Married at First Sight. I know that she's left, so Courtney and Nick are out.
Yeah.
But Courtney will not leave my feed. And you know what? I haven't blocked her, so that's on me.
Haven't blocked her. I'm not following her, but I did see these videos that she is explaining videos. I don't know what they started out to be.
It was an AMA. Ask Me Anything.
Yeah.
And people were asking some pretty pointed questions, and she wasn't taking the softball questions.
Yeah.
Right? Which I respect that. But she also, I think, in answering them, made it clear to everyone that she has done no self-reflection.
She is a total narcissist.
Yeah.
It's all about her. Yeah. She has done nothing wrong.
Oh,
She's
never, ever in her life.
Completely getting a villain edit, and it's all the producer's fault. And, we don't get to see everything. You know what, Courtney, my love? Just come closer for a minute. Ma'am, we know we don't get to see everything. Ma'am, we're not toddlers or babies watching this show. We understand the idea behind filming parts of your life, editing it together, and making it into an hour show. Ma'am, we get that. But we also understand when you rolled your eyes at a man who's sobbing and saying he's sorry to you, that's not a villain edit. That's you being a dickhead, ma'am. Sorry.
Even if he had been awful the entire time.
Correct. Why? What?
She had been too awful to, balance it out,
Correct.
We had seen her be... So, she was saying, well, he's been more PR trained. They don't PR train people who are on reality TV.
Correct.
That are...
Come on, ma'am.
They want you to be a butthead. They want you to have big reactions. I don't think that he's PR trained. I found that irritating.
Yes.
I also think that she hasn't been able to... She thinks that he is a complete villain. She thinks that she tried her hardest. She was like, I just couldn't get anything out of him. We watched her trying to get something out of him and then immediately shut him down.
Right.
She told him to his face that he gave her the ick on multiple occasions.
Yep.
She said, do not hold my hand. They will make fun of us. And then she said, what do you guys hate about him? We watched her shut him down left and right and then be annoyed that he didn't want to open up.
Yep.
And I haven't seen her take any accountability.
No, we're not going to.
I've watched enough of them.
We're not going to.
Do I think it's okay that people are talking about... There was one where it was she got a lot of comments that she looked older than she really is.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, and people were talking about that, and her body is insane, in a great, I mean that in the most positive way. She's in incredible shape. She used to be a bodybuilder. She's still, ripped.
And very athletic. She wanted to play pickleball with Adam for 5 hours. She probably could have done that.
Probably could have.
Over and over again. Great. Love that
for her.
What a
physique. She's beautiful hair. Her makeup is always incredible. I think physically... In the most shallow of terms, I think she's super pretty. I think she's super hot. I don't think that she's learned any lessons. I think she's actually going to Danny Zuko this, dig her heels in.
Yeah.
Refuse to acknowledge. And
yeah.
I don't think it's okay to take her apart physically. And I think her response to that was completely legitimate and fair. She was like, I asked ChatGPT what I'm going to look like in 10 years.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm still cute. And
Courtney,
all right, I'm okay if I look older because it looks like when I'm older, I'm going to look great. And great, good. It's another one of these things where people
just go away. I want her to go away. And yes, I will scroll through her videos. Yes, I'm an adult enough that I could scroll through something that I don't want to watch. And Nick is really funny posting these still photos of himself, right? Sitting in a hot tub or a sauna or something like that. And just doing very funny, very charismatic, very cute things. That, yes, I want to see that. I don't want to see whatever she's doing, So maybe just, Courtney, please go away.
Nick's lighthearted social media presence after Married at First Sight is very similar to Gall for me.
Yeah.
Come out, have a sense of humor about it, don't dwell on the things that you want to make sure you get your message out.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. No one is ever going to, if they don't get your message during the show, they're not going to understand it after.
Right. Absolutely. That's so correct. So correct. Oh,
I'm not going to get a better understanding.
Correct.
So don't bother. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're gone. And then.
But right before we started recording, you had just finished watching the very last, most recent episode. So this week we are up to date. We're talking 16, 17, 18, those 3 episodes that just dropped yesterday. And you had just watched the last one and we're very agitated. And I'm very glad we have come down a little bit, but I still want to get back to Jen being agitated because that is one of my favorite things to be around.
I'm trying to self-soothe. I took a potty break. Got myself a snack.
Do you want to go couple by couple or you just want to talk about the shit show that we watched? I
think we need to just go couple by couple.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to stay
on track, right?
On track.
One thought, one couple. I get that.
A lot happened in these 3 episodes.
A lot happened. Even though they were at the couples retreat for 2 of the episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot did go on.
A lot has happened.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start with Cameron and Michelle.
Okay.
Cameron and Michelle, clearly the best suited. They are in love. They're not saying the L word, but they love each other.
Yeah.
They are going to do great. I have high hopes for them.
Correct.
They know that it's not a competition, but they know they're winning, right? And they have decided that they are mom and dad. Cameron and Michelle are so comfortable up on their high horse that they are just throwing grenades down from there.
Yeah.
They are the biggest shit stirrers. They are so good on reality TV. Cameron.
Michelle is so messy.
And they're not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. I wanted to ask you your thoughts because I thought about you watching this show.
Because my relationship is also that cute and perfect.
Fuck no, that is absolutely not fucking what I meant at all. What I meant was if you would have been Michelle and told Belle what Mecca was saying about her. Okay, thank you. Because I would have. I 100% was prepared to come on camera, hit record with you today, and fucking fight over the fact that, yes, I would have told Belle everything. Absolutely been messy. Would have told her everything.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, that's, that whole fucking conversation sucks. Let's just jump into them. Right? There's nothing else to say about Cameron and Michelle.
I just, one more thing about Cameron and Michelle.
Okay.
I did get some teary eyes at the end when she was saying, you know, they're talking on their Seattle date, right?
I did too.
I got a little teary because he was crying and she was crying, and I just wanted to bring that out that I love them and I'm crying for them.
We love. We love happy stories.
Yes.
They are great.
Anyway.
I wish there were more couples doing as well as them.
I know. But it's a needle in a haystack, really. So it's just wonderful and amazing that they were able to find these 2 and put them together. So
yeah, they're great. They're so sweet.
And just one more thing. When Cameron talks, like I have said this on 1,000 other podcast episodes, when you are asked about your spouse, right? What do you like about him? What makes you happy about him or her? What are the things you're drawn to about him or her? Because they did they separated the boys and the girls, right? Yeah. And they were talking. And Cameron says just wonderful, like personal things about Michelle. Not,
oh my God.
Not the fact that she, I don't know, has brown hair or something really kind of.
I mean, he wasn't like, she's really nice. She's really nice and she's really hot.
And she likes me. And she likes that, you know, I sleep in till 11 a.m. and will make me breakfast. Fuck you, Felipe. But
God,
anyway,
Felipe.
So
Felipe.
Anyway, we'll get
Felipe.
to that. But, you know, Cameron did not say.
No, he was like, she's so smart and she's so cool and she's so happy and kind and yeah, just
she has a great family and, you know, she's a cool person and she's
my dream girl. They said, like, is she your dream girl? Like, she's everything you wanted and surpasses it. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. There was no hesitation.
Yeah.
He was so, like, passionate about it. And he was like, there is part of me that finds them to have, like, a smugness that I don't think is earned, you know?
Sure.
It's like, yeah, you guys are great. Because they put you together. But also they didn't put anyone else together as great. But that's not because you guys are
better.
Yeah, this is the luck of the draw.
No, agreed.
Right?
That's why I said needle and haystack, but yes.
Yeah. They feel like they're winning, which in a way that they are, but it's not a competition.
Correct.
But they've made it a competition. They're like, and we won.
Yes. No,
yes.
Agree.
Well, no, they're doing it in the group too.
I know.
Like they're taking charge. They go to that group dinner and
Cameron even says, I'm gonna,
was he drunk?
I think so.
He was at least a little toasty when he was like, that whole side of the table should not get me. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Why are you just like...
Yeah, no,
but you know what? Michelle's doing the same thing. She's calling out people left and right.
Yep.
They're so well matched.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, sorry. We can move to Becca, Belle, and
Wait, do you want to go there?
Do you want to right now?
Mecca and Belle Jolie.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay.
So I hadn't last time, but this time I am totally caught up. I've watched everything.
Okay.
He said it to her. He said to her.
Yes.
And then he was like, I didn't say it. And then
he gaslit her. Yep.
Then he gaslit her. And then he was bugging her the whole night. That evening, he's like, you're mad at me. Don't you want to talk? You want space? And she had said, yeah, I need you to give me space.
Stop.
Like she finally broke with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't stop.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm going to ignore you. She doesn't say it. She just starts looking at her phone.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't even know that she had another way to accomplish that.
Correct.
He was sitting there and poking. And again, not on the shows, but the videos, you sent me a couple of them.
I did!
Of fucking Mecca and his dad.
Yep.
And the videos that they have put out there before this. His dad is a fucking creep. His dad is so whacked out.
Yep.
There's a video of him. I don't know if it was scripted or like he did that off the cuff where he's trying to talk to Mecca about giving him a haircut. He's going to give him a haircut and shave. Yeah. And then he starts talking about Mecca's pubes and manscaping and how he can do shapes on him. That's his son. That's his son.
Yep.
Why are they having that conversation?
Inside thoughts, sir. We don't. No.
Because it wasn't like, here's how you take care of yourself hygienically, like you would have with a teenager. Mecca is a grown-ass man, and his father is critiquing his pubes. Fucking weird shit. And then Mecca posts videos, like, it was supposed to be a joke, I think, about, like, getting beaten. Mecca also had the open up, I think it was the previous 3 episodes where Mecca opens up to Belle about how he used to pee himself because he knew he was about to get beaten.
God, yes. Till he was like 15, he said, I think. Or 13.
That is deep, deep trauma.
Yes.
I have learned a lot about that, and like for some guys it's like just like a thing, like it doesn't, like a thing doesn't go off in their brain and that'll happen into their teen years. That's not uncommon, especially with boys. Yeah. But also it is a major indicator of trauma.
100%.
Also,
absolutely.
Do you know what the 3 main indicators that someone is I don't remember what the technical term is, but the 3 main indicators in adolescence that a child is going to be a serial killer or a murderer?
No. Is wetting the bed one of them? No.
Hurting animals.
Yeah.
I already forgot what the second one was. And then wetting the bed.
But wetting the bed for a significant period, right? It's not just till they're 4 or something. Yeah.
Wetting the bed through adolescence.
Yeah. Man.
Wow.
I believe, I want to say something about Mecca. I believe he's definitely had some sort of trauma. If that man that we have seen clips raised Mecca, that is a dysfunctional household. I will just say he definitely was raised in a dysfunctional home. And that man is probably not a good parent or caretaker.
You and I hated him from the wedding.
Oh, God, yes. Yes.
From the wedding.
And what I want to say is, and that I wrote down several times in my notes watching these episodes, is Mecca a person is not a bigger victim than the person who created the issue that their partner is mad at. Meaning, right? So he turns himself into a victim. He created these issues. He created saying to her, I don't know if you're pretty enough for me, not to me. He created that issue. And then he played the victim. And he's like, why won't you talk to me? And poked at her and poked at her and poked at her. And then he was the victim when he said, right, Adam asked him, what's your dream girl? Do you like Belle? What about Belle do you like? This whole conversation, I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what happened, but and then it came back to Belle through Michelle that Mecca likes thicker women. He likes women who have bigger boobs. I'm not quite sure if it was just fake boobs or bigger boobs. They had a discussion about fake boobs. They had a discussion about Belle getting fake boobs.
Was fucking out of line for that whole conversation.
We can discuss that. But then Belle finds out, confronts Mecca. And then Mecca the entire time up until we see them moving out, right? They all have to move out the end before decision day. He is the victim in all of this. He's the one saying, I'm a shitty person. And she's like, no, you're not a shitty person. Mecca knows that Belle will ride hard for him no matter what. Even after she finds out that he said these really shitty things, that he doesn't really like her, he wants bigger boobs, blah, blah, blah. She even rides and defends him to the rest of the group. Well, he just says off the cuff things. I'm paraphrasing again. He just didn't mean what he said. And he knows that. So he plays this victim to her so that she will come back to him. It's a huge form of control and manipulation when he does this. And then you see them kissing and you see them snuggling and you see her, I do have feelings for him. And she backs down. She talked about herself in the third fucking person saying, the Belle outside of this, Belle wouldn't have put up with this shit. Belle would have left. Talking about herself in the third person. She knows what she needs to do. She knows what her own opinion is about the situation. And then she reverts back to, I really like him. I really like him because he manipulates her. He twists it. He's a victim to her. He's pouty. You're not the fucking victim, Mecca. You're not. She is. She's the victim in all of this.
In this situation, 100%. Yeah. Okay. Now I totally understand what you're saying. Where he can't be a bigger victim than her.
Right.
Being a victim of what he's done.
Correct.
100%.
That's what I
agree.
Yeah.
This is going to make you so mad. So back to the beginning. I do think. Excuse me.
Woo!
I do think that he's being an asshole to Belle. I think he's not thinking about Belle. I think he is being selfish. I think that he is this thing, exactly what you were saying, where he was like, well, I'm just like a bad guy. I just don't think about what I say. Like, it just comes out of me. I don't have the ability to control my words.
That's
he literally
not
said that
an
in the car.
Apology.
No.
Not an apology,
and he's like,
sir.
I'm just dumb. I'm just bad. And Belle and Nikki are like, we're not going to talk about ourselves that way. Like, that's not what we're trying to do.
Yep.
And like, I said it last time about people pleasing. Like, he is a victim of his whatever thing. Like, and he talked about it the last set of episodes where he was like, I'm bad. And Belle's like diagnosing it. She's like, you've decided that you've been bad. You were told you're bad so long that you've adopted this persona and you think that that's how you have to continue to move. And you don't have to keep making those choices. Like, you don't make those choices because you're bad. You're continuing to make these choices to be that version of yourself.
Yeah.
You could be a different version of yourself.
Yes.
And this is the part where I go, he was not ready for this show. He is not far enough along his healing journey. He needs to work out his shit. He's starting to recognize, pointed out by Belle.
Yep.
These are self-sabotaging choices that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
These are choices that you're making to hurt me, to push me away. You're hurting me to push me away because you have some child wounds that need to be processed, or at least beginning that process. I do not subscribe to the idea that you need to be a wholly healed, perfect version of yourself to be in a relationship. I don't believe that. But you have to be willing to acknowledge those points where you do need to process, where you need to grow, where you need to do better. I think he's starting to acknowledge that, like, there's parts of me that aren't perfect and fantastic and too good for a girl like Belle who's not quite pretty enough for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to either trigger some major work on himself, or he is going to dig himself deeper into this hole for a long time.
Yeah.
But it was not good at the retreat. Then they had the dinner out and it was not good then. Or like they went on a walk. I didn't like that.
God, yeah.
And I don't want her to say yes. Here's what I think, and I think it's going to happen with a few guys on this show, or at least two of them. I think they're going to say no because they think the woman's going to say no and they want to beat her to it.
Well, okay.
And I think he's one of them.
Okay. Well, he should.
I think he would.
Definitely.
I think if she said yes, he'd maybe say yes, but I think he's going to say no before she gets a chance to say no.
Okay. Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay. No, I don't want her to say yes. I want her third person to come out and be, yeah, I'm not putting up with this. And I also do want to say, my opinion is, I don't believe you should be able to use this child wound as an excuse for this shitty behavior. If you truly want to get the help that you need to have, that she has pointed out, look, you need to help yourself, and he truly cared for this other partner, he would still look at her and go, he would be curious and he would be apologetic. He would say,
yeah,
I fucked up. I said these inappropriate things about you, about me, or whatever I did. Paraphrasing again, people. But then he also needs to acknowledge that he did that for her, right? I'm sorry that hurt you. I know that hurt you, and I'm going to work on it, and I won't try and do those things again. But he can't. He's not at that point right now.
He actually started the next morning after they had the bad evening at the retreat. And then he comes in and he's like, I fucked up. And I was like, and some of how he was talking throughout the episode, it seemed like he was starting to get it. But he never said, I fucked up and I gotta make sure I don't do this.
Correct.
He kind of does. But he never really fully acknowledges.
Because he goes back into this weird victim,
is me he's like,
bullshit.
I have to learn how to not be a piece of shit. I have to figure out how to not do this. And then all the energy goes into going, you're not a piece of shit.
From her, she's going to do that. That's what I'm talking about. He's learned from her that he doesn't have to apologize. He can say I'm a piece of shit and she's going to go, oh, please don't do that. I love you, blah, 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 blah. I can't. This is why I can't with him. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Adam and Marissa.
Okay, get it, girl.
So Adam and Marissa, the whole retreat was diabolical. You hear retreat and you're like, I'm going to go on this retreat and I'm going to learn tools and I'm going to
calm,
get insight, or I'm going to, the whole thing was like, go on a date and then get drunk and ask each other the most awful, horrific questions.
Yeah.
Adam is right up there with Cameron in pushing people, asking questions that are like specifically to cause problems.
Yes. And he thinks Adam, it's funny.
He thinks it's funny and he's relentless. And he also thinks that because of his personality, he kind of does become immune. Like no one can really throw it back at Adam.
Yep.
Even Sean, who, going back and watching the previous episodes, and Sean was like, is this a character? Like, where does this come from?
Yes.
Like, where? And Sean was so correct.
I agree.
He clocked it.
Yep.
I agree with Sean 100%. Sean is so smart.
Me too.
I 100% agree. But even Sean was like, that's not how I meant that. Sean, yes, you did. You did. You were right.
We all know you were right. 100%.
Backs down from Adam because he's such like a bulldog. Like, I don't know. Or he's kind of like one of those like golden retrievers that just will not stop bringing the ball to you.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we done yet?
Exactly.
Oh my God, the golden retriever people are going to come after me.
No, stop it. But that's so true.
But yeah, that's... So, I don't know. And I think Marissa, going into the weekend, I think she was a little surprised by how he got, like, no pushback again.
Yeah.
So, thank God they both got flu B and COVID at the same time.
Oh my God, I thought about you. Yes.
I got flu B.
Yep.
I got flu B. Was it this summer?
Yeah.
When did I get it?
It was the summer.
And it...
You were dying.
Fucking knocked me out. It knocked me out for a week. Like, I couldn't stand for more than a few minutes.
Yeah. And Marissa couldn't say anything nicer. She was like, I love Adam who's sick.
I love it.
When he's sick because he, he's calm and he's not doing 87 things at once and we can have normal conversations. I laughed so hard. I'm like, this is hilarious. You need your spouse to be incapacitated to have a convo?
This is where, what is it called? This is how, like, Munchausen's by proxy happens. Like, we just saw the beginning of Munchausen's by proxy. She's going to be on the streets of Seattle just licking doorknobs to go home and kiss him with. So they can be sick together.
100%. It was just amazing. It was amazing. So, anyway.
I enjoyed that. Yeah. I did hate that he kept bringing up his ex-girlfriend. Did she die? Where is she?
I can't remember. Why did he bring it up again? I didn't write that
because
down.
They were on him again about pushing her to do more of like everything out of 10 like he does. Okay. And she's like, I like to relax with my friends and have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And like our lifestyles are so different.
Yeah.
But then you hear them when they get back home after the retreat and Adam's like, maybe we are moving to the city. Like, I thought he would never leave the shack.
Yeah,
right?
What?
I was really impressed to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm wondering, this is me in my conspiratorial, this is the dark side of my mind where like I see the good side in everyone. I really try to, right? I really try to like,
I know you do, and it's at nauseum,
give people
and it pisses me off. But
you hate it
when your dark passenger comes out. Is my
dark passenger
favorite.
Is coming for him. My dark passenger is coming for him because I don't believe he wants to leave the shack, and he's like, "Yeah, and we'll join a gym together here, and it'll be great because you love the city." I think he is another one that is. I think he is consciously. Consciously. Like Mecca, I think Mecca just has some shit he needs to sort out, and I don't think he's doing it all consciously. I think he's just got fucked up shit. Versus Adam, I think he's going, yeah, babe, it's going to be great, and I'm going to do all the things that you want to do. And then he's going to be like, this is chopped. I'm out. The vibes are gone. Like, whatever. Like, I don't think that, I don't trust him. Do you know what it also is? Here it is. I don't like blonde men. They're not
like red hair. They're not technically. I think it's red.
I think he's blonde. I think he's like an ashy blonde.
Okay.
I don't trust blonde men, and I also don't like men with blue eyes. And I don't know why that is, but I don't trust them.
Okay. All right.
Come at me.
Way to go.
I can't wait till some 67-year-old woman named Brenda is going to be like, my son Kyle has blue eyes and he's wonderful. I bet he is.
Yes. You're welcome.
Does he still help around the house?
He still lives in your basement, Brenda, and he's 40. Perfect.
But anyway. I'm fighting with people who I will never meet. All right, let's go to Devin and Caitlin. This was some shit.
Devin and Caitlin, I am so interested to hear what you have to say. Devin and
I think Caitlin is a slow burn who didn't really put much into this, like didn't really commit to this.
Oh my God, this is so... I'm having a struggle fucking listening to you. It's Caitlin's fault.
Me?
It's fucking Caitlin's fault. I know, but 12 minutes later, we're going to get that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 12 minutes. Okay. It's Caitlin's fault. I wrote it down.
Okay, Sean.
It's her fucking fault.
You don't want a whole speech?
Holy shit. When her and Mecca go outside to talk...
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
But
and
before,
they did it a couple times.
But before that, when Mecca pulls her aside after the whole blow up, right? They find, I think it was when Mecca finds out that Belle knows, he pulls Caitlin aside and says, this is about me because Belle's acting a fool, right? And Caitlin's like, I'm so glad that you pulled me for this. And I was like, what? Well, that was weird. And then they go outside together, and Devin's sitting on the couch with Cameron. No, Adam?
I think Adam was there. And Adam's like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
I mean, thank God someone's calling it out. I think Cameron might have been on another couch and yelling as well.
Yeah. I can't remember. But it was definitely Devin watching through the glass. They were outside.
The first thing Devin says, because Adam says something really incendiary, like, you're going to let him go riz up your girl. And Devin says something, and I, sitting on the couch out loud, said, that's incredibly generous to say, because he was like, no, he's actually, like, gonna go riz me up to her. And I was like, no, he's not.
Oh, fucking
no,
A.
that's not what that...
That's not
and
it.
they're laughing and having the best time.
Yep. Nope.
And
the context behind what you just said was Devin and Caitlin were talking about being physically intimate and that they hadn't even kissed, and they wanted... something, there was some sort of understanding that they were going to try and be physically intimate at this retreat.
And he literally said, I want a hug, I want like a kiss.
Right. And so then she, said, I was doing all these things to give him the green light, right? She was scratching his back. She kind of gave him a side hug and leaned into him. She was talking nicely, talking him up while he's cooking and doing all the things. And
he picked up on none of it.
Which 6 doesn't have the other. That's whatever, right? Is what it is. But if it's Caitlin that's doing it, right? We have to look at the context. Caitlin doing it. I don't know. It's hard to...
I think what he said, again, God, I was wrong about Devin. I was fucking wrong about Devin.
We all were. Yes, wrong about Devin.
It's the dumbass haircut.
It is.
If he could fix that, because I literally, oh no, my husband listens to this podcast.
Hi, Matt.
But if it wasn't for the hair, I would go like, oh, he is super hot. It took me so, like, what are we at? 18? It took me like 18 episodes before I was like, oh, Devin's hot. I never saw it.
Yeah.
I never saw it till I think this last episode or the second to last episode and he's like done. And I was so brokenhearted for him because I really, really think that he was genuine and tried. Other than his hair, and he's got some dumb tattoos. The only thing about Devin that I really didn't like is when after they had the Mecca, she was also cuddling with Belle and Mecca kissed her hand, and they were the three of them, Belle, Mecca, and Caitlin were on the couch. That was weird.
And he put his necklace around her at one point. That was weird, too.
I would wear that necklace too. If someone offered it to me, I'd let him do it. But I didn't like the fight that they got into on the couch after everyone had gotten into bed.
Yeah.
And when they had the conversation earlier in the night where he was like, just don't shut me down.
Yes.
And then they're drinking, they're heated, and she tells him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you could see in that moment was the last straw.
Yeah.
But he leaned forward and got in her face.
Yeah.
And that part right there, I didn't like.
I get that.
I didn't like that at all. I thought it was too aggressive. It was too much.
I get that.
I think he's going to look back and go, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the moment it was done.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they're done. They have broken up. They broke up. The next morning, he leaves in his car and she leaves with Cameron and Michelle. So yeah, they decided to end it. And all she did was cry. And I am confused why you're crying, bitch, because this whole fucking thing was her fault. The entire thing was her fault. He did this Harry Potter shit, this Taylor Swift shit, right? She even grills him again and says, did you listen to the whole album again? And he's like, no, why would I do that? You've told me everything. And she was annoyed that his answer was no. And then she still says that he's not doing enough. And she still says, I can't be me around him. I just can't. Nobody wants to be around you when you're like that. Nobody. You need to be on an island alone with nobody and be in control of yourself.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. She totally gives off this energy of fuck everybody. I'm just going to take care of myself. I don't need anybody. I need you when I need you. You're supposed to be there when I need you, and be in control of everything. Bitch, you can't be in control of everybody, everywhere, all the time, every day. You just can't. Yeah. She should not be in a relationship.
No, I don't think so either. I think that I said this before. My theory is I think that she is awesome. And I think that she's like a strong woman. I also think she doesn't need to be in a relationship. I don't think that she wants to be in a relationship, right? Like everything about how she moved this whole fucking show says, I don't want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
She wanted the wedding. She didn't want the marriage. And I get that there's like, I am uncomfortable and I'm not saying that she had to like,
oh God, no,
have sex with him the whole time.
God,
that's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
I'm not saying that she has to like feel immediately comfortable with this man. No. But she wasn't telling him goodbye in the morning. Like she was so proud of herself that she like made him a coffee. She wants to have her own life under her terms, which is fine. It's good. It's awesome. But she doesn't recognize that the way that she moves is not conducive to a partnership.
Nope. Not at all.
I liked how Devin left the retreat and he was like, I'm going to learn from this and I'm going to take this and apply it to my next relationship. And Devin, wants to be consciously a fantastic partner.
Yes.
What a lucky girl.
Yep. Very true.
So I'm kind of glad that they're over though.
Me too.
So like we're all released from that torture.
Yes, thank God for that.
I don't think they're both bad people. She's not supposed to be in a relationship right now, if ever. All right,
next,
let's do Sean and Nikki.
Get it, girl.
The roughest of beginnings. Mm-hmm. The roughest of beginnings.
Yeah.
And then last week, it seemed like they had really turned a corner.
And you got to see his dangle? You saw that?
I saw the blur of his dangle, and she was a fan of it.
Absolutely.
They had the encounter.
100%.
They had an encounter. He talked to her mom.
Yeah.
Then he talked shit about her mac and cheese, and that pissed me off.
Oh my God.
Matt was like, can we make macaroni and cheese like that? And I was
100%.
Like, look at me. We can't. But I'll try. But I was like, yeah, no, that mac and cheese looks incredible. And then he's like, it's okay. It's better than terrible. What the fuck? And this is a theme for these men. And it's number one themed, I think, for Felipe and Torrid. We're going to talk about them last. But the consideration, the shit that comes out of these men's mouths without thinking about how it's going to affect their partner.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying about the radical truth of Luke and Kristen.
Yeah.
They say the truth, and so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mecca saying what he said to Belle, fucked up.
Mm.
And it's like an epidemic.
Yeah.
And it is, I get that maybe it's a little bit complicated because honesty is the best policy, and I just want to know the truth. And No, I think that there's some nuance that we all need to work on here as a society.
Well, as an adult, for God's sake. As an adult, come on.
As an adult.
Yeah.
The worst one that came up, it was not on camera, but then Nikki told us, and it was so weird because it does seem, I genuinely was like, Nikki and Sean are doing so much better. I love Sean and his insights, especially but to Adam at the table.
Yeah.
They seem to really like each other. They're missing each other because he had to go to his mom's birthday. And I was like, and they're connecting on these dates.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it?
I did because there is, and Sean actually pointed it out. There is a tone that Nikki has when she is speaking where she has 100% let her guard down. She is not like what the matchmaker was like, this feels
Paul,
like a business meeting.
Paul
was like, this feels like a merger. Yeah. This doesn't feel like, and there are times where she's talking and she's so professional and detached. And then there's other times where they had done the chocolate wine date.
Yes.
And she was giggly and comfortable. And I think that that's the night that they had the encounter. You can see, and at the retreat where she seemed like her comfortable in herself around everyone with him. And I was just like, oh my God, it clicked. All of that friction, they figured, oh, wow, what progress they made. And then we hear the story about how he said that, well, maybe you're a 10 in Seattle, but you'd be a 7 in New York.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
Right.
And everyone's like, what?
Yes.
In my opinion, Nikki's a 10 everywhere.
Yes.
That woman is the total package and more. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He feels so entitled to her and it makes me sick. Then we find out that she brings it up to him and he's like, well, that's because we were in the pool and you grabbed my belly and said, look at you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure you knew that we were both not all that.
How do you feel about that? Do you need to have tit for tit with your spouse? So Steve and I have been together 20 plus years. Probably fine to do all of that. Probably fine. But they just met each other. It's the context of the thing. You don't have to do this tit for tit radical truth stuff with someone you just fucking met 3 weeks ago.
No. And like,
I don't understand.
A need that he's like needing to put her in her place.
Yes.
And he needs to put everyone in their place. Yes. Right?
That's true.
He's not the only man that's doing that.
No.
Adam's doing it. Cameron, our prince. Cameron's doing it left and right. Like, this is not like a Sean only thing.
No, agree.
But that was so insane. Her doing that to him, awful.
Right. She claims she doesn't remember. She said, I don't remember doing that, but
I don't remember doing that.
It probably
he
happened.
Has a very vivid memory.
Probably. We don't know.
Here's the problem. He feels like, let's just say Matt and I had a similar fight. Yeah. We would never, because Matt doesn't have that kind of body. I would never grab his belly. Matt doesn't have a belly. Matt's listening to this. This is affirmations for Matt. Matt has my husband has body dysmorphia, so we have to be really careful.
Keep going.
So if Matt and I had gotten into a fight like that, right? Let's say he said something, so I snapped back.
Yeah.
And then I move on. Yeah. And then Matt goes, hey, you said this shitty thing to me.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, you had said this to me. I did say that to you. That sucks. I'm sorry. That sucks. I shouldn't have said that. My feelings were hurt and I lashed out and I don't like that I did that. And I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to do that again. Instead, that's how you apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But instead, Sean's like, yeah, I did that because you need to be reminded that we are not both all that. You needed I needed to tell you. You needed to know. It wasn't like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we were both out of line in that moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We were both out of line in that moment. They were both wrong. They both suck in that moment. And yet, he's like, you sucked, but I fixed it. Fucked up. Yeah. That's the wrong framework. Totally the wrong framework. And then
I was just waiting.
Everyone's having these very sweet goodbyes. Well, is everyone? Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, everybody's having, right, like I said before, so the day before decision day, they move out of, I think the show gives them an apartment or something together-ish.
Yeah.
Right? And so everybody, I think, was moving out. Anyway, so Nikki kind of left first-ish. She was packing.
She's packing up.
Yeah.
She's in a good mood.
Yes.
She's being sweet with each other.
Yes.
They're having this really cute thing. She pulls out her wedding dress.
Yes.
And she's like, I've got to get this. And he's like, let me help you.
Yes.
She's like, oh my God, teamwork. I was like, they did it.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. Holy shit. And then she's putting her dress into the garment bag.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, how are you thinking? She's like, well, and she gets into the I'm going to make the best decision. I need time to think, and I haven't decided, and this is what and it does get a little.
She does this like PowerPoint thing, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think that's how she processes.
Correct.
Right?
Kind of
that's
talking
what
out
learned
loud
about them.
Yeah.
Right. Is she detaches and looks at it as she like lays it all out.
Right.
And he says to her, well, I don't need your whole speech. He literally asked her how she was feeling and then said, I don't need a whole speech. And she's like, okay. The energy shifts. And he's like, she's walking out the door. And he's like, I see that you're frustrated. And she's like, yeah, I'm frustrated. And he's like, well, let's figure it out. And she's like, well, I don't know. I don't even know how to at this moment.
Yeah.
Like she's activated, but also so fucking poised. And then he's like, well, let's use one of our tools.
Fuck. Yep. She goes, would you like to use? Yeah.
I rolled my eyes, but I was like, they're doing it. This is doing the work.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's do this. But he doesn't think he fucked up.
Yeah.
He doesn't see it at all. And then in the little confessional to the side after she leaves, he's like, I guess I can't joke around with her like I could joke around with one of my friends. No, because that's also, if you were my friend and you were like, how are you feeling about XYZ?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, blah, 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 blah. And then you go, well, I don't need a whole speech. Yeah, if there's a group around that they all laugh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But also, fuck the fuck off. You asked me.
Yeah.
You're asking me to be vulnerable about my feelings, and now you're dismissing them.
Yeah.
Fuck right off.
Yeah.
All the way. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like that's going to be a yes.
Agreed. I don't think they definitely, I don't believe it. That's the reason why I asked you that question. I don't believe what I'm watching with them. I think it's a performance. I think it's a show. I think both of them genuinely at times are trying.
Yeah.
But that's like 90-10. But 90% of the time, professional business, right? I'm in a meeting kind of relationship. We don't respond to the way Sean speaks. The example of, well, let's use our tools. I would respond well if that was said back to me. Steve and I have been married 20 plus years. We go to therapy, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. We have been together long enough to be able to go, okay, we're in therapy. Let's use one of our tools. I will go back to, they've known each other for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever this is. And he's saying stuff like that to her. I'm not responding to that. He doesn't talk to her like she means something to him. He doesn't talk to her like what is happening to her is upsetting to him and he needs to correct the behavior or apologize, right? That's, for me, what I'm watching, my opinion, the two of them, why I don't believe it. So I'm pretty sure they're both going to say no. I would be shocked if either of them said yes. So
I think he condescends to her.
Correct.
He condescends to everybody.
Everybody, yes.
And one of the things that I thought was a little bit wild was when Nikki is with the girls and she was telling them about the 7 in Seattle.
Yeah.
Or 7 in New York. And they were like, well, what does he think he is? And they were like, he thinks he's a 10.
Yep.
He thinks he's a 10.
Yep.
I do think he thinks that he's like I think he'd be willing to say, like, I'm, not in the best shape.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just a 9.5.
Yeah.
I think that that's how he sees himself.
Yes. Yeah.
I also 100% think that Sean is going to be the guy that says no first.
Okay.
On purpose.
Okay.
So she doesn't get to say no to him.
Right.
So I think Sean, Adam, and Mecca are those guys.
Okay.
I think Cameron's going to say yes because they're great. And then the last one is Tori and Felipe.
Oh, God. Blessed.
And all the signs were there from the very beginning. He didn't show up. He was late to showing up.
Right?
He's talking about how he enjoys sleeping around.
Yes.
He's love bombing Tori.
Yes.
But then he's acting a fool. His relationship with Adam is really bizarre to me. Like they're both enjoying each other. They love both being the center of attention, but they also are like trying to knock the other one off.
Yeah.
Like who's the number one guy in the group?
That's just a big dick swinging thing. Yeah.
When we all know Cameron's the number one guy in the group.
Right.
So I didn't love that. And then they have, these games are diabolical.
God, right. These are like Real Housewife games. We shouldn't be playing them.
Did Heather Gay plan these games? So that's half of what set Devin off. He's like, everyone sees that this is shitty. I don't know. That whole thing makes me feel super weird. That whole conversation where the men were like talking about whether or not they had their dream girls and like why were they even fucking there.
Yeah.
And Felipe has his dream girl.
Yeah.
Felipe has Tori, who is everything he could ever ask.
Felipe is constantly saying weird, stupid fucking shit about Tori, either like to her face or to the group. And it is so fucking confusing to me. Like, I don't understand what I'm watching when Tori has been nothing but wonderful and honest and genuine and vulnerable and loving and kind towards him.
Well,
even Felipe brought up, my mom's never liked any of my girlfriends and she loves Tori.
Yeah.
And he says weird fucking shit.
And everyone's like, Felipe keeps growing new feet to put in his mouth. The lack of consideration from Felipe and the other guys when they play the game, the diabolical, awful games where they were like, who is most likely to sleep around?
Yeah.
Who is... It just like all of the questions and most of the answers went to Felipe.
Yeah.
And everyone was having fun with it.
Yeah.
Except for Tori. Tori feels like shit. Felipe's loving it because everyone's pointing at him.
Yeah. He's getting attention.
And he's winning, and I'm doing air quotes, winning the game.
Right.
Even though it's like you don't want to win this game.
Right.
And everyone splits off. It's the boys and the girls. But Tori goes into the room by herself, and she's just like, you can see she is shell-shocked. And she's like, he finally goes to check on her.
Yeah.
And she's like, that was embarrassing. He doesn't get it. He's like, oh, you care too much about what other people think. And she's like, you don't care the effect of this. You're not being considerate of me at all. You're not taking me into account at all. That's the issue here. And I think they're done. I think it's over. And I was like, thank God. And then the next day, for some reason, they make up.
They make up because he's a Mecca, because he is the biggest victim in the room of the product that he created, which is a problem. He created the problem by what he said. This is my issue that Tori didn't say out loud. She just kept saying consideration for me, which is part of it. But the issue is he won because of the weird, stupid fucking shit he said to everybody about wanting to be single, about wanting to fuck a bunch of different women, not knowing if he actually wanted to be in this marriage. So because of what he said, because of those things, he got voted the most points on all of those terrible questions in that game. He won the game because they voted for him because of what he said. So Tori is upset because she feels he didn't take into her feelings, her consideration. He comes upstairs and finds her. She's explaining to him, you didn't take me being the other part of this partner into consideration when everybody is pointing at you and giving you the points and telling, you're the answer to all of the questions. He doesn't get it. And she starts sobbing and cry. He gets mad at her and says, you're not giving me any grace. I don't understand why I can't be who I am. I need to be who I am. And she's sobbing because I think she's just done at that point. She's like, I'm not going to engage and I'm not going to explain this to you. But the problem is they wouldn't have answered those questions. He wouldn't have won the game if he didn't say that fucking weird shit that he said. It's all his fault and he doesn't get it. So she says, we're not compatible. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm done. So he goes downstairs and he tells the boys. And of course the boys are like, oh my God, she doesn't understand. And they're on his side, except for Mecca. Mecca comes out and is like, hey, buddy,
I know.
Maybe, just maybe, and explains it to him. Thank you, Mecca. That is the only point you're going to get. And
I was impressed.
Very impressed.
Mecca giving the pushback. Because, when you see someone that's upset,
yes,
I think most people's first instinct is to go like this. I see you hurting.
Yeah.
Like, let's.
The girl
when it's a guy,
crying to him, and he's mad at her. So he sleeps on the couch. She's
without a shirt on. That's okay. I don't like it that men get to be without shirts. Have I told you about this?
No.
If you're out running, I don't think you should be without a shirt. If I'm not allowed to be without a shirt outside, then you shouldn't be. I shouldn't see any men's nipples.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, I'm not interested in them. But I think that if you're sleeping in a public shared space, you keep a shirt on.
Yeah.
I didn't like that he woke up because then his skin was all over the leather. Who's gonna wipe it down?
Gross.
Tori probably. That's gross.
Yeah. So the next morning they wake up, right, and he goes and well, not technically, they kind of ignore each other, right? He goes on a walk and she's doing breakfast and things like that. So they give each other space in the morning, but then they have a conversation, and he says, "I think I understand why you're upset. I didn't give you consideration. You're the part of this, right?" And then he fucking jumps off the ledge again and says, but I need someone who needs to know that I am who I am. And he's still back to square one. So he didn't fucking learn anything. He didn't fucking stand anything. And she's like, okay. And they miraculously get back together. Don't understand what I'm watching.
Didn't like it. And
super
then
disappointing.
I don't remember who he was. It was his mom and somebody else.
Oh God, his mom and just a friend, a girl.
And he said the same thing. Like, I feel like I should get to be myself.
Dude.
You are not your stream of consciousness.
No.
Right? Your stream, whatever. You are not just a free flow of thoughts all the time. Yes, being in a partnership means that sometimes you're going to edit yourself.
Yep.
To make sure that when you are trying to get a message out there, you aren't going to hurt them. It means that when you are out having fun with a group of people and you want to be the life of the party, you're not going to let your partner become even tangentially, I'm saying big words that I'm not pronouncing correctly, the butt of the joke. That's not her keeping you from being who you are. That is knowing that who you are is part of a marriage.
Correct.
And that involves prioritizing the other person along with yourself.
Yep.
You don't let your partner be the collateral damage of your misbehavior.
Yep. He even says, the rest of my life I'm going to say stupid shit. And they all giggle. Yeah, we know that you just said something weird, but nobody cares about it. These are the type of people that are in his life. Has he never been told no? Is he a gigantic mommy's boy? What are we dealing with here with Felipe? I don't understand what I'm watching. And then
I mean, I think Tori sees it.
Yes.
Why does she keep why is she continuing in this process is the confusing part to me. She's like, everything he has is handed for him.
Yep.
His apartment is a furnished apartment that his mom found.
Yep.
His job is working in his family's restaurant. Like, he's never had to do anything himself.
Right. He says a relationship requires a leap of faith. No, it fucking doesn't, Felipe. It fucking doesn't. That says, to me, if you say it requires a leap of faith, that means that you're not supposed to be with that person. You're not supposed to be there. Because two people who want to be together in a relationship, that's not faith. That's knowing what you want. That is hard. That's confirmed. I know what I'm doing. I want you. You want me. We're done. It requires a leap of faith on whose part? Her part? Because you're a dickhead and you want to say whatever the fuck you want to say and do whatever you want to do? No, dude. He just continues to say weird fucking shit that are her expense.
He thinks he gets it, but he doesn't.
No.
And I think she's seeing him, like, getting the fuller picture and, like, this is like an Arrested Development situation. Her car breaks down.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, that sucks to be you. I don't know what you're going to do.
Didn't help her at all.
Doesn't try and figure out how to do it.
Nope.
And he's like, you always make me breakfast and you bring me coffee and it's so nice. And then he makes this speech about how he does want to make her life easier. Where? Show me where he's done that. And we're not seeing it anywhere.
No. She even said in the past a couple episodes, right? He sleeps until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I've been up since 6. I'm doing stuff, right? I mean,
and he thinks it's great.
He thinks it's totally great. Right. Yeah. And then at the end of the last episode, it's decision day, and Tori and Felipe are the first couple we get to see on decision day. Mm-hmm. He shows up first. She walks in, says, hey, I'm here, and turns around. And he gives her this goddamn speech about the leap of faith and what he loves about her. I said it in the beginning of this podcast, that he can sleep until 11 a.m. and she'll make him breakfast.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you love about her? That is not specific to her. To her as a human, to her personality, to her that anything she likes or dislikes, that is specific to you, asshole. And then she drops some bomb and says, I'm totally confused because of what you told me last night, because of what happened. And they just stopped the episode and we don't know what happened. We don't know what he said.
Something. Okay, so what?
He cheated on her. He cheated on her.
You think he already slept with someone new?
He's cheated on her. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I think.
That's a really good guess.
He cheated on her.
That's really good. Yep. Mine was that he had already had a vasectomy.
Oh my God. I love that. That's so random and weird. No, he cheated on her. Cheated on her. Well,
I think I really like your theory.
Yeah.
Not that I like it. I think it's horrible.
No, that's horrible.
But whatever he said, we know it's horrible. So we're just guessing.
Because her face is so... I don't even know what the word, it's very, her muscles are tight. Her eyes are squint, right? It's not soft at all. Like, she's mad. She's upset.
She looks like a mob wife.
God, yeah. She is not having any of it. Mm-mm. Fuck. I was so mad.
One of the things that she says, we have no idea what it is, but she's like, do you think what you said to me was normal?
Yep. And he goes, yeah. Yeah. What?
I think your guess is really good.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. And
then remember what I texted you? My favorite line of the whole thing is when the girls finally come into Tori after they're kind of chitty-chatting alone.
Yes.
Right? And I was wondering why they're not noticing Tori is gone. But then after that, they go and find her. And
I have a theory about that. You know that Devin was like, Courtney, go check on Tori. You know that Devin was the one that was like, something's going on. Yeah. Something went down. You need to go check on her.
They go in and check on her, and she's upset. She's like, he made me look stupid. I hated all of that, this and that and the other. And Marissa looks at Tori and goes, you're Beyonce. And he thinks he's Beyonce. You can't be in a relationship when both of you think you're Beyonce. he's not Beyonce, you're Beyonce. That was my favorite, because that's perfect. It fits perfectly, their relationship.
Matt literally turned to me and goes, what does that mean?
Oh my
God. I was like, it means that they're drunk. It means that she's drunk. No, it reminded me of that in Bridesmaids when she's like, you're more beautiful than Cinderella. Like, that's...
Yes.
I do love that all of these girls are friends. Like, I believe the friendship, so I do like that. Yeah, So the theories are in only Cameron and Michelle.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish there were more. I really do.
I know. I was hoping for more. You know, I don't.
How can we hope for more while also hoping that all of these men get their shit together on their own and stop? But Caitlin, I also think, so it's not the men. We're not misandrous over here.
No,
there's only one. I cannot
stand Courtney. I can't stand Caitlin. Courtney's already gone. Caitlin is now gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you and I, again, from day one, we thought Belle and Mecca, favorite couple, thought they were going to say yes. Right?
I thought they were going to do it.
And I don't think so. Because he's just an ass-tard and doesn't know what he's got, just like Felipe. Fuck you, Felipe. Just goddamn it. She is a wonderful, emotionally matured, evolved human being I've ever seen on TV. I've never seen someone like her on TV before. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I think, I don't know. I think she and Nick could have been a good couple.
Sure.
But, like, the questions where they're like, who would you have been with?
Sure.
They're, like, swapping it around. It's like, the correct answer is, like, we all know that it was Courtney that wanted to be with Adam, and then you don't have any more of the conversation. On TV, you have the messy conversation. Thank you guys for having that. But in real life, you deflect and you never answer that question.
Yeah. Right.
That's the correct answer. So, all right. Well, we've got some more boat show.
And I'm convinced there's going to be 3 more episodes. You're not convinced because we've got 5 more couples. Well, and the end of Tori and Felipe to go through on decision day. So
I don't know if I have the strength for three more episodes, unless they're going to do a reunion.
God, yeah.
But they're not doing a reunion, or if they are, they're doing it after in the future. I can't.
What the hell?
But anyway, all right. Well, that's it.
That's it. That's enough.
That's enough. Thank you for doing another podcast with me.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening. We had a good time.
Yep.
And we'll do it again next week.